Hey out there in internet land, my name is Jason J. Cross. I'm the founder of Four Sides of Cross Productions, and today I just want to give you the history. It started off as one thing and just became something else. As I grew, so did the company. So it started in the late 1990s, maybe the early 2000s. I had an idea for a literary magazine called Four Sides of Cross. I know, you're completely surprised. Whoa, blow your mind. The type of stories that was going to be in this magazine would fit in one of these four classes, which I put onto this cross that I envisioned. There would have been love stories, there would have been horror stories, there would have been stories of despair, and stories of hope. I worked really hard on this project and actually got some other people to write some of the stories, so it wasn't all just a vanity project and nothing with things I wrote. I even still have the prototype, which I've held on to. Probably nothing's ever going to come from it. I've retold these stories a couple of times, my stories anyway, not other people's, because that's copyright. Along with these stories, I had little jokes here and there, just to lighten up, just to have some fun with this. I also had some friends that was going to write some articles for me, so they wouldn't all just been fiction, which I wish it continued because some of these stories were really great. So the magazine turned out to be about 100 pages long, which I was very proud of. But I couldn't do anything more with it. I just didn't have the money to distribute it. I had no idea how to get the money to do it. So it kind of got stuck in the water, but not my creative juices. My creative juices were still flowing. I then started taking pictures and then animating them, where, just making their mouths move. So it came to the point that every time I came to the party, my friends would get upset whenever I brought my camera out because they knew I was going to start taking pictures, and then I'm going to make a short story with them as the actors, the unwilling actors. As I started playing around with other programs, I started learning, teaching myself like Adobe Premiere, After Effects, some things to do in Photoshop and in Flash, and it just kept growing and growing. The very first short film I ever did was, besides the one with my friends, which I can't show because they will find me and they will kill me. Anyway, the first short film I did was an animated film called S.H.I.T, which I did with stick figures.
TGIF, thank God it's Friday.
Sorry, honey, it's Thursday.
So playing around with Flash and a camera that I bought, just making silly things, I met up with someone I worked with. She was an inspiring actress, and we became partners for a while. And we did our first film called When Good Jokes Go Bad.
What do they all have in common? They can all be used in very harmless and very funny practical jokes. But what happens when those jokes go wrong? Join us tonight as we show you what happens when good jokes go bad.
Even though we weren't really sure what we were doing, it was still exciting and very enjoyable. You learn more by doing than by reading than taking classes. Sometimes you just have to get right into it, and then when you do it, you learn a lot. And with this project, I did learn quite a bit. You can actually see When Good Jokes Go Bad on my website. The next scripted film I did was actually one of my favorites. It was called Choices. We really put a lot of work into it. We actually rented out a stage to film the whole thing on. This, I guess you would consider one of my artsy projects. I really enjoyed doing this project, even though it shows that I still had a lot to learn. It's still one of my favorite things I've ever done. From time to time, I think about maybe I should redo it, now knowing what I know now.
Am I dead yet? Almost.
It doesn't have to be this way.
What doesn't have to be this way?
The end of your life.
What life? You're better off here.
It still looks very amateur, which is very disappointing, but as I said, was a very big learning experience. I really enjoyed it, and I thought I just loved the story. I loved the actors. They all gave it their all, and it was amazing. It was then that I realized I've learned everything I could from videos and from reading, that maybe I really needed to strengthen my skills. So I went back to school and got my degree in digital filmmaking. That I loved the school. I loved the people that I met there. Actually, my first year there as a freshman, I was able to work on a thesis film. That thesis film was called The Hotline Killer. That came out really well. I enjoyed it. It was great working with the cast and the director and all that.
Russo speak.
She's gone, Johnny. Gone.
Marie, what is it? Calm down. Tell me, what's going on?
Tell me you've heard from her.
From who? Who? From Sarah?
Our little girl. I came home from the store and I...
Breathe, honey, breathe. Tell me, what's going on?
There was a note on the table. Johnny, he has her.
Who has her?
That fucking maniac. That fucking hotline killer you've been trying to catch.
That you can also see on the website. Between semesters, I didn't want to just relax because I was really gung-ho making films. So I got together with some of my classmates and we filmed a short that I wrote called The Decision. That one came out very well too. I enjoyed it, and you can see that, I'm learning. I'm getting better at what I'm doing.
You can join me on my effort. Together we can save these people. We can show them that they have the power and they can achieve this through education.
These people don't want to be saved.
You know that is not true. Deep down inside, you know that I'm right.
And what makes you so sure?
Because you haven't shot me yet.
Can you guess where you can see that? I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. The website. So after school, and I finally graduated, this was at a time where I became a born-again Christian, and so I started doing more Christian films than anything else. We decided we wanted to get to know our church better, so we made a film called Alleyway, which is based off a short story you can see on the internet. I'm not sure exactly who wrote it, but it's a story you hear a lot of times. Anyway, we got together with people at our church so they can act in this film, and they did an amazing job. The film was great. We got to meet our fellow church members, and we got very close. The movie did so well. Well, first of all, it was great to be able to see it on the big screen at our church because they premiered it there. Everybody loved it. It came out very, very well. And then we put it to film festivals. It showed at the Big Apple Film Festival, where it got us. Everybody cheered. Everyone loved it. It actually premiered next to a movie called I, Murders, which was pretty good. It had Tony Todd in it and William Forsythe. I didn't get to meet Tony Todd. That would have been awesome. I'm a big horror buff. But we did get to William Forsythe, who talked to one of our actors who really enjoyed our films. He thought it was great. He loved that it was faith-based, and he loved the story, and he loved everything about it. My friend actually got a picture taken with him. When we had our first premiere, which was only for the cast and crew, one of the actresses, she came up with 2 of her friends, and they did a little joke where they said, "Hey, look, we're Jesus angels," and they took the stand almost like Charlie's Angels. but accepting different ways of praying. I thought, hey, this is a great idea. Maybe I can write this little film, just a little comedy about the Jesus angels. But something happened that was odd then. I was trying to write the script, but I kept getting this feeling that this is something that had to be written as a book. And so I kept fighting it, but then I just said, you know what, let me just do it. And so I published my first novel called His Calling. It was around this time that I discovered a program called iClone, which is an animation program. So I went from doing little animations to live action and now back to animated, 3D animation this time. And iClone, I love that program because it just really freed me up as far as, you know, locations and things I can possibly do where I couldn't really do in live action. And I can also work on my own schedule. I didn't have to be like, okay, we got to book this weekend, make sure everyone's ready, and make sure we can get everyone there, and make sure we can get everything filmed at a certain time. It just freed me up, so I was able to create everything and not have to worry about time and those kind of constraints. Plus, at that time, something truly amazing, the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me, the birth of my daughters. That's a whole separate subject. I love those little girls, and being a father is definitely the greatest thing I've ever done, and that's another story. But anyway, with the iClone, this really helped me too because I can just work on it an hour or so a day. When the kids are asleep, I can work on these animated films, and it took me longer, but hey, it was worth it.
She fell.
Whoa!
So iClone was perfect because, as any parent can tell you, when you have little children, free time is really non-existent. To be able to still make these films and not be constrained by budget or by time or places, and it just worked out very well for me. So there I was making Christian films and animations and that, and writing books. I wrote 3 novels and 1 poetry book. It wasn't until I moved to Florida for a little while that I got reunited with my favorite genre, horror.
At the same time, I know she's deserving of whatever trouble she's in. Oh God, why would I think such a horrible thing? What is this on my hands?
I was working with somebody that I was helping to develop a horror website for, horror-themed website. Then I started working more on horror films, and horror is my favorite. I'm just a horror junkie. I can't help it. So I continued making horror films, and after some time, my daughters finally got some interest in it. Just last year, we released a film called Wanted, which my daughter Victoria wrote, and my other daughter Samantha starred as the lead role, and my wife actually played a role too, as well as yours truly.
Oh, really? Because I got a call from someone who said they saw you with him.
That's not true. I went to get food for my daughter's dinner. And then they went to bed.
Oh, really?
Everyone stay in your locations and lock your doors. We have an armed and wanted suspect attacking the station. Please remain.
It was truly a family affair. So now we're here in 2022. I've been doing this for like 20 years, and Look at my website. I have a lot. I've done a lot, and I'm very proud of all the work I've done. It feels good when you can just look and see you've done a lot. I might not have made any money off of any of it, but you know what? I really enjoy doing it, and people really enjoy watching it. So that's all I really need. Right now, my daughter Samantha is about to come out with her own YouTube show, a horror reaction show, which I'm helping her put together. That's going to be part of my 777 project, which I'm going to have in a different video all about it. So she's going to have her own show, so make sure you check it out and leave some love for her. She really worked hard on it, and she really enjoyed it, and I would like her to keep on doing it. I'm also about to start production after the 777 project called Allergic, well, tentatively called Allergic, which will also star Samantha as in the main role. She's really getting into the acting, even though it's just voice acting, and she's also getting into a lot of writing, which I'm very proud of her. So we're a small company, but we do a lot of work, and we really enjoy what we're doing, and I really hope you enjoy watching the things we create. So that's the story of Four Sides of Cross. It started off as a literary magazine, then it went into animations, then it went into live action, then it went into novels, and now it's into 3D animation. And we're just continuing. We are just pushing forward and pushing forward. I really hope you enjoy the things we are putting out there for you. We have a bunch of the projects up on our website and on YouTube. So let us know which one you like. Is there a favorite you like that we've done? Please comment below. We'd love to hear from you. And please, please, like and share. If you can help us get our work out there, if you enjoy what we do, please show it so other people can see it too. And, help support us. Also, if you really want to support us, please check out our merch channel. We have a whole bunch of t-shirts and some other merchandise out there that really helps us make these films, keeps the lights on, and keeps us continuing forward. So please take a look and pick out something. Thank you once again for watching the history of our little channel, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed our other films. Good night, God bless, and may you enjoy your nightmares.